scriptures.
有没有声音？有吗？有。好，先把今天经文读一遍。来，请。因为世人都犯了罪，亏缺了神的荣耀，凡事都不可亏欠人，唯有彼此相爱，要常以为亏欠，因为爱人的就是完全的律法。无论是希利尼人、化外人、聪明人、愚拙人，我都欠他们的债，所以情愿尽我的力量，将福音也传给你们在罗马的人。凡事不可结党，不可贪图虚浮的荣耀，只要存心谦卑，个人看别人比自己强。我凭着所赐我的恩，对你们个人说，不要看自己过于所当看的，要照着神所分给个人信心的大小，看得合乎中道。凡事都可行，不都有益处；凡事都可行，但不都造就人。好，做个祷告。
Let's pray.
天父，感谢你，
Heavenly Father, we thank you.
主求你让我们信了耶稣以后，知道如何行事为人。
Just please tell us how to behave after we believe in Jesus.
我们今天借的三言两语，
Today, we through this just a few words.
让我们每个人反省一下自己的生命。
So let each one of us, we can reflect our life.
我们在主里边三言两语数家常。
So in God, we just talk about our life in a few words.
我们看看这一段时间信主以来，我们的生命有哪些贴近耶稣基督的心。
So let's just say, since we believe in Jesus Christ, if there's anything, we're just close to Christ's heart.
感谢祷告，奉耶稣基督得胜的名求。
Pray in Jesus Christ's name.
阿门。
Amen.
好，今天讲到我们就三言两语话家常。
So today we just have a sermon title that is, we just talk about life in a few words.
所谓三言，就有信徒三看。
So when we say that the three sentences, that means that as a Christian, the believers, we have three ways to look at.
看神，看人，看自己。
So look at God, look at people, and look at ourselves.
那两语呢？
And so what about like two
其
words?
实就是基督徒行事为人的向内向外的两个准则。
That is from the inside and the outside. What is the principle of our deeds?
我们现在看一看如何看神。
So first, let's look at how to look at God.
看神是不容易看的，
It's not easy to look at God
看不见摸不着，怎么
because
看
we cannot see Him, we cannot touch Him.
传福音的时候最难的就是跟大家讲怎么看神嘛。
So the hardest part to share the gospel is how to look at God
啊，怎么看神？怎么看也看不见呢？
because we cannot see Him.
好，你说不用看，用信心好，
So if you say, let's not look at God, but just go by faith.
那我就因信称义呗。
So we're called the righteous one, and
既
just by
然
faith.
我无条件的相信神，神也无条件的赐给我永生，这等好事何乐而不为？
Since there's no condition for us to receive Christ, and why not?
但是信耶稣以后，马上问题就来到一个问题：如何看神？
But after believing Jesus, and here's the question. So how do we believe in Him?
其实如何看神有两个最基本的准则，
So there are two principles how to look at God.
可能我们大家平常会忽略。
Maybe oftentimes we neglect about
我们
this.
比较喜欢、愿意接受，让耶稣基督当我的救主。
So we're very easily to let God, Jesus, as our Savior.
我们不太习惯，也不太愿意让神做我的生命之主。
And we don't have this habit, just let God to be the Lord of our life.
大家知道什么是主吗？
Do you know what is Lord?
啊，其实中文这个主翻译的不太好。
So in Chinese, Lord, the translation is not quite good,
啊，
proper.
就好像是随便一个地主也当了主了。
It seems like a person who's the owner of an asset and he just become the master.
地主的老婆也被称为地主婆呀。
And his wife is just called the wife of the master.
所以“主”这个字在中文的观念蛮儿戏。
So therefore, the word Lord in Chinese translation, it just kind of not quite proper.
啊，英文的 lordship 呢稍好一点。
So in English, lordship and the translation is better.
你了解这个字，你要从英国人在爱尔兰呐、苏格兰最早的那些庄园主当中如何对待他的子民的关系和态度，可以了解到这个概念。
So to know about this word Lord, and if we look at it from the Ireland or the on those country, and how they defined it.
当那些臣民来到庄园主跟这个庄园主去汇报他今年的收成的时候呢，
So when the people cultivate the land and to report how their harvest to their master,
你看他连眼睛都不敢往上抬一眼，
they cannot even just look up to the master.
因为在当时的观念当中，既然你称我为主，
So in their concept, like since you call me the Lord,
就不单单是你的生产资料、你的田地是属于我的，
then it's not only the things the crops that belong to me.
就包括了你和你的家人也都是属于我的。
So including you, this person, and your family also belong to me.
其实上帝要表达这种 lordship 这种主的观念也不太容易。
So the concept to express about this word lordship is also not easy.
上帝对人的拥有权毫无疑问，
Though for sure God's possession about the human being, and there's no doubt.
在人类的历史文化活动、历史活动当中，这种主的观念是没有爱。
But in the human history, actually the concept about the Lord, and there's no love.
但是上帝的这种 lordship 呢，除了他拥有我们，他也有一个被我们所拥有的观念。
So, but in Bible, the lordship means God owns us. Also, we own Him.
那何以见得呢？
So how can we tell?
那保罗特别把这个观念在罗马书讲得很清楚，
So Apostle Paul here and in the Bible, he explained very clear.
因为你还不认识我的时候，我为你舍命了。
And the Bible says, before you know me, I already died for you.
呀，当我为你舍命的时候，我就把我自己的生命归属于你。
So when I died for you, and then my life is belong to you.
他本有神的形象，
And God has the image of God,
但却不
Jesus.
因与神等同而为强夺，
And he just did not grab about God's glory.
他反倒舍己，
And he just died for
他
us.
取了奴仆的形象。
And he has this image as a
然后
servant.
你留意这个 ownership 的这个 lordship， 它是一个 HR 的，是一个互相的关系。
So this relationship of the lordship actually is an interpersonal relationship.
但是留意这个相互的关系却是一个不相配的关系。
But this type of interpersonal relationship, actually, we're not worthy of it.
大家明白这个关系吗？
Do you understand about this
你是
relationship?
谁呀、
Who are you?
我是谁呀、
Who am I?
我们怎么配上帝的那个拥有者呢？
So how are we worthy to God, who's the one and who's an owner?
我们今天的生命从摇篮到坟墓，上帝不欠我们，
So today, our life from birth to death, God did not owe
但
us.
是因为上帝是爱的缘故，
But because God is love.
他把这个拥有权从单向变成双向，
So God just transformed this ownership from just one way to two ways.
从不配变成恩典。
From not worthy of it and it becoming
这
grace.
就是为什么我们欠上帝。
And that's why we owe to Him.
如果我们生命当中没有一个我们是亏欠上帝的，我们没得救。
If in our life we do not have this understand about that we just owe the debt to God,
所以
then we
信
still don't believe in
仰
God.
的第一关，我们要进入一个我们是欠神的。
So the first priority to believe in God that is to understand that we owe to Him.
那问题就来了，
Here comes a question.
我欠神，神要什么呢？
So I have the debt to God. So what does God want from me?
我把我手中的金钱都给他，好不好？
So how about I give all my money to God?
我把我所有的土地都送给他，好不好？
How about I give all my land, my assets to God?
我把我自己的恩赐，我会唱歌，会跳舞，所有的本事、恩赐都给他，好不好？
How about I just give all my gifts to God?
神说：“我拥有一切，我要你什么？”
And God said, have everything. And why do I need it from you?
从本质上，从本源上看，人是没有能力还神的债的。
So from the nature, actually, human beings, we have no ability to pay back this debt.
人也没有能力去补偿这个亏缺。
And we have no ability to just compensate for this lackage.
这个时候，上帝就给了我们一个出路。
So here God gave us this outlet.
刚才读的经文，
The verse we just read.
讲的就是要常以为亏欠。
And that is with oftentimes we just need to remain that we just owe the debt to God.
他说：“凡事都不可以亏欠你，
He said, no, let no debt remain outstanding.
唯有彼此相爱，
And it's whoever, we just have to love one
因
another.
为爱人就完全了律法。”
Because whoever loves others has fulfilled the law.
有一个律法师跑来见耶稣，
So there's a legalist and he came to visit Jesus.
怎么样才能满足上帝的心意呢？
And he asked, how can we just fulfill God's heart?
耶稣就说：“你要尽心、尽力、尽意爱主你的神，爱人如己。”
So Jesus said you just have to have your whole heart to love Him. and also love one another.
他把所有律法的总归就归在爱神爱人上。
So in conclusion, that is to love God, love others.
要弟兄姐妹，你留意，你爱神爱人，并不是你自己道德上的伟大。
So brothers and sisters, for you to love God and love others is not how high your morality
你也
is,
毫无可夸之处啊！
and nothing you can brag about it.
为什么你会去爱神爱人呢？
So why you can love God and love
是因为
others?
你欠了神的债。
That is, you owe the debt to God.
你爱神爱人，你的动机不是你自己道德上的高尚和了不起，
So your motivation to love God and love others is not how great you are.
乃是我们就是一个欠债的人。
Just because we're a person, we owe the debt.
亲爱的弟兄姐妹，
Dear brothers and
保罗
sisters,
为什么说，无论是希利尼人，无论是化外人，无论是愚拙人，无论是智慧人，我都欠了他的债。
so that's why Paul said, I'm obligated both to Greeks and non-Greeks, both to the wise and the foolish.
如果弟兄姐妹明白这句话的话，
Brother and sister, if we understand about
你
this,
把你的生命放在一个每时每处见到人就想去传福音的话，
if you have your life just like every corner, every moment, and you want to share the gospel,
你就大概了解你是怎么欠神的债。
then you will realize and how you owe the debt to God.
这两天，可意的爸爸来了。
This past 2 days, Sister Kaya, her father is here.
今天早上问我，牧师，我要买一些什么手信回去给我的这个教会的朋友啊，还有教会外的朋友啊。
So this morning, and he asked me, Pastor, so what should I buy to bring it back to my brother and sister at home?
我说我给你个建议。
I told him, I said, let me give you a suggestion.
崇拜完了以后呢，我带你去 Costco 去。
So after worship, let's go to Costco.
有一样礼物相当好。
There's one gift, it's really good.
以后你们回国也可以考虑送这个礼物。
In the future, if you go back to your home country, you can think about this.
3块多钱一瓶。
It's only like $3 a bottle.
喜马拉雅山的盐。
That's a salt from Himalaya
或
mountain.
者是海盐。
Or sea salt.
一个粉红色的盐，一个白色的盐。
And one is a pink color salt, and the other is a white color.
都很漂亮。
And both are beautiful.
你送一个手信3块多钱，又便宜又送得出手。
And it's a good price, and also it's a good gift.
最关键是什么呢？
And you know what the key
可以
is?
借着这个机会，在主内互相勉励，在主外给传福音。
And through this gift, and in the church, you can encourage brother, sister. Outside of the church, you can share gospel.
当你买这个盐的时候，不是说你有什么了不起，送人手信，乃是你欠他的债。
So when you buy this gift, it's not because how good are you, and it's just you just owe the debt to gospel.
你把这个盐送他的手上的时候，亲爱的朋友，你知道吗？
So when you give this salt to your friend and say, dear friend, do you
我
know?
送你这个盐是按照我的主的吩咐送你这个盐的，
So the salt that I gave to you, that's by God's command.
因为耶稣吩咐我呢，叫我做光做盐。
Because Jesus asked me to be the salt and the light.
你轻轻的一句话就把福音带出来。
So just the lightly some words, and you just bring out the gospel.
为什么耶稣要叫你做光做盐呢？
And then he may ask you, and why Jesus asked you to be the salt and the light?
基督徒如果不为主做光做盐的话，
If a Christian does not be the salt and the life of God,
耶稣是告诉我们后果的。
and Jesus already told us the
那个
consequence.
盐要失了味儿，就撒在地上，任人践踏。
And the salt will lose its taste and just scatter on the ground.
我们是何等尊贵的器皿啊！弟兄姐妹，
Brother, sister, we are a precious vessel.
神将我们放在一个何等宝贵的位分上，
So God put us on this the precious position,
让我们可以竟然向万民去传福音。
and for us to be able to share gospel to all nations.
现在教会的主内的弟兄姐妹，对不对？
So you see the brother, sister in the church.
来，亲爱的弟兄，让我送一瓶盐给你，我们互相鼓励一下。
So my dear brother, let me give you this gift. It's a salt, and let's encourage each other.
当你看见我的生命没有盐的味道的时候，你可要鞭策我一下，可要鼓励我一下，可要警告我一下。
So when you see my life without the salt, you need to just remind me. So we just encourage each other.
所以说这个话不能反过来讲啊。
Sometimes you just cannot say this word is reversed.
弟兄，这个盐我送一瓶给你，
Brother, I give you this salt as a gift,
好让我有机会时时的监督你，
so that we can just supervise you
看你什么时候行差踏错，我踢你一脚；
and just see if you had just misbehaved.
看你身上缺了味儿，我踢你屁股一脚。
So if you just lost a taste of the salt, maybe I'll just thank you.
讲话是个艺术，也是个智慧。
So actually, talking it's an art and it's a wisdom.
其实最关键要有什么，你知道吗？
And you know what the key is?
你心中要有主啊！
You need to have the Lord in
如
your
果
heart.
你生命总是自己的话呢，
If you always think about yourself,
你是很难讲出智慧的话。
it's very difficult for you to say the words of wisdom.
这一次去看可意，
This time we went to see our sister Ke Yi.
可意的生命完全的改变。
Our sister Ke Yi, her life is totally changed.
原来她很少朋友，对不对？
So originally she doesn't have many friends.
但是我去到那里，我发现整个军营的人都是她朋友。
But when I went there, we saw that unlike all the people in this army, they're her friends.
她如数家珍般的告诉我，
And she just tells us every little bitty.
哪个朋友有怎样的优点，
And she shared with us and each of her friends what their strengths are.
哪个朋友给了她怎样的帮助。
So, and which friend, and they gave her the help.
我说可意，你是一位有朋友的人。
And I told our sister, I said, Ke Yi, you're the person, you have friends.
可意对我的耳朵悄悄说了一句话，
So our sister told me this,
牧师啊，
Pastor,
这是这么多年我欠的债啊。
these are, with so many years, I owe the debt of
不
gospel.
是可以，你得着了属天的福气和奥秘。
So I told my sister, I said, you received the blessings from heaven.
当你生命当中有别人的时候，
When your eyes have others in your mind,
你把你身边的人都当作是你的债主的时候，
when you treat the people around you and they're like the person that you owe debt to,
你的生命就完全的改变。
then your life will be totally different.
当然这个不容易，对不对？
Of course, it's not easy.
没有人愿意当欠债的，
No one wants to be the person who owed the debt.
每人都想当债主。
Everyone just wants to just be the person that who owe debt to him.
凭什么你是我的债主？
So by what? And just you're the one that I owe you.
为什么我不能当你的债主？
Why I just cannot be the one just on the other way?
亲爱的弟兄姐妹，属灵生命的奥秘，往往就在这态度上的一点一滴的角度的改变。
So brothers and sisters, actually the secret in a spiritual action, that is the changing in our attitude.
因为爱人就完全的律法。
Because when we love others, we fulfill the law.
我们有的时候会比较强，哎呀，我守这个律法，哎呀，我守着那个律法，唯独忽略你心中有爱吗？
Oftentimes we just want to follow this law or that law, but we just neglect whether we have love in the heart.
这非常不容易的事情，对不对？
That is not easy, right?
好，这是三言两语中的第一言，我们看上帝。
So this is the first look, that is to look at God.
第二看呢，
And the second look
看
is
别人，
look at others.
你会怎么看别人？
How would you look at others?
人一般，这奇了怪了，通常看别人都不如自己的。
Oftentimes, it's just so interesting. We always think other people are inferior to us.
你看看，比我胖吗？
So look at him, he's fatter than me.
那你看他比我矮吗？
Look at him, he's shorter than
你
me.
看他没有我的肌肉大吗？
See, he doesn't have a big muscle like I have.
看来看去总觉得自己好。
So no matter what, and I'm the best.
人犯罪以后，个个都有一个自恋狂的倾向。
So after people sin, and we just have the tendency, we just love ourselves.
你照镜的时候，你不信，你问问你自己，总觉得自己长得漂亮，自己
If you don't believe it, just look in the mirror, look at yourself.
我们极少有一个觉得别人比自己好的这种心态。
So it's very rare that we think others are better than us.
保罗就在腓立比书2章3节就教导弟兄姐妹了。
So in Philippians chapter 2, verse 3, Paul
他
teaches
说：
us,
凡事不可结党，
do nothing out of selfish
也
ambitions
不可贪图虚浮的荣耀，
or vain conceit.
只要存心谦卑。
Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves.
然后后面这句话最重要啊，他说：个人看别人比自己强，
Value others above yourselves.
这个是最难的事情。
That's the hardest part.
现在弟兄姐妹，如果是你来到一个人群当中，你看不到人有比你强的地方呢？
So brothers and sisters, if you just go into the group, if you cannot see other person has something like a greater than you,
就是表明你的属灵的眼睛瞎了。
that is your spiritual eyes are blind.
你看，哎呦，怎么这个人身上有一根刺啊？
And you will see, how come that person has a thorn on his body?
但是看不见，原来自己眼中有一棵树。
But you do not see there's a big tree, just cover your eyes.
看不见自己眼中那棵梁木，就看到别人生命当中那根刺。
So you just cannot see this wood just in front of your eyes, then you cannot see others.
所以鼓励弟兄姐妹，你见到每一个人要看这个人有什么样的优点是比自己强的。
So when we look at others, we need to see if this person has any strength.
能看到有人有优点比你好吗？
And if you can see other person has any strengths better than you.
还是左看右看都觉得自己好？
Or you just see, just no matter what, you are the best.
有的时候呢，看别人强，看自己好，这个东西都不容易表达出来。
Sometimes it's hard to express that to look at others that above us or look at ourselves.
我不说话你就不知道嘛。
Because if I don't say it, you will not know.
你怎么知道我看别人强，看别人弱？你不了解的嘛。
So you will not know whether I look at others who they are just superior than me.
通常人们是怎么表现和显示我们生命当中这种罪呢？
So how do we usually can tell about this kind of
所以
things?
保罗说，凡事不可结党。
So that is why, and Paul says that do nothing out of selfish ambition.
什么叫结党呢？
So what does that mean?
就是与自己合得来的人常常在一块儿嘛。
And that is you always get together with a person that you get along well.
就是我看自己喜欢的人，我就顺眼吧。
And that is, I just like just to be with the person that I like.
然后你跟他有一种关系，
And then you have this relationship with them.
这种关系是超越圣经的真理。
And this kind of relationship, that actually does go beyond the truth in the Bible.
这种关系呢是超越圣经的原则。
And does go beyond the principle in the Bible.
在公司里边，在人群当中，在教会里边，都容易出现结党的现象。
Just like in our workplace or in the church, and always have this kind of situation.
跟我是老乡哎。
So we're just from the same hometown.
老乡见老乡，两眼泪汪汪。
So when we see the people from the same hometown like with us, and we just have the same passion.
对不对？你跟我合得来，
So we get along well together.
你跟我的口味是对得起来的。
And we have the same taste and value.
我们就跟别人不一样。
Then, so we're different from others.
圣经的原则就完全丢掉了。
And then they just throw away, just discard the value in the Bible.
结党的本质是什么？你知道吗？
You know, what is the essence of the selfish ambition?
其实结党的本质，也就是希望和自己合得来的人对自己多一些肯定。
Actually, the selfish ambition is want to get a recognition from others to us.
这是大家忽略的，对吧？
And this is what we neglect.
很多人结党，所谓的结党，未必是要得到什么好处，
So many people want to get together. It's not just trying to get some benefit,
但是难免要得到多一份肯定。
but more or less they want to just be recognized.
合得来的人多在一块呗，
So if we get along well, we just get together more often,
合不来的人就少来往呗。
and it's vice versa.
我们常常对人就会有些这样的369前中后上中下这样的区别。
So when we look at other people, we should have this kind of way to judge.
但是我们就很难就发现到底这里边的本质在哪里。
Then it's very difficult to find out what is the core in it.
其实当我们去要求人对自己多一份肯定的时候呢，
Actually, when we ask for the recognition from others,
保罗说这是虚浮的荣耀。
and so just Paul just called that's the vain conceit.
你被人多一点肯定，
If you're recognized by other more,
但是你可能会忽略上帝到底怎么看。
but you may neglect how God look at you.
有一天，上帝要给我们一个不朽坏的荣耀给我们。
One day God will just give us this glory; it will not perish.
但是如果我们这一生所活的生命都是在乎人们怎么看自己的话，
But if our life we only just care about how people look at us,
有一天圣经就说你已经得到你当得的荣耀了，不是虚浮的而已。
and one day God will just tell you that what you received, that is you already received it, and it's just not true, real.
这种试探每时每刻都在我们里面，对不对？
Actually, this kind of temptation is just everywhere.
今天我们有了智能手机啦，
And today we have the cell phone,
我们还有一些不同的媒体的软件啦，
and we have different media.
有微信啦，
We have WeChat
有朋友圈啦，
and the Moment.
常常会发一些比较有趣的东西啦，
And oftentimes we just send out some interesting thing.
发的东西都无所谓，都是对的。
And it's nothing wrong to send this out.
为神做美好的见证，
And we testify for God.
也把生命当中美好的与人分享。
And also share the good things with others.
把话讲的这都是没有问题的。
When we talk about this point, it's nothing wrong.
接下来你的心态就容易印证或者出卖你的心灵。
And after that, actually your mindset will betray yourself.
有多少人点赞呢？
So how many people just click, just click that.
什么人的点赞呢？
So who clicked it?
说了什么话呢？
And what did they say?
摸摸自己的心，
Ask yourself.
感受一下自己的情绪。
Just kind of feel your emotion.
那这些东西就在一点一滴的见证你跟人的关系。
So all this just prove about your relationship with others.
亲爱的弟兄姐妹，
Dear brothers and sisters,
如果我们生命当中没有一个看他人比自己强的动机的话，
so if in our life we do not have this motivation to value others above
你
ourselves,
是极少有机会看见别人的强项。
and it's very rare that you will see other people's strengths above you.
你的眼神会出卖你的。
Actually, your eyes, your gesture, your
你
eyesight
跟
would
人交
betray
跟
you.
人来往的时候，人家很快的体会出你心中是瞧不起人的。
So when you just have the relationship with others, people can easily tell whether you look down on them or
因为
not.
当你看不见别人的优点的时候，
Because if you do not see other people's strength,
你连一句鼓励的话都说不出来，
you will not even say encouraging words,
连一句欣赏的话你也讲不出来。
and you will not say any words to admire
总
others.
是看到这么多的优点，这么多的缺点，
And you always see the people says that there are problems,
总是看到这么多东西不如自己，
and you always see the people who's not better than you,
总是看到自己比个人都要强。
and you always value yourself above others.
其实你的心灵已经不断的被一些老茧紧紧的封住，没有活力了。
And so your life is just kind of blocked by all this and without any just
所
activity.
以从今天开始鼓励弟兄姐妹，
So I encourage you today.
每次弟兄姐妹相见的时候，至少看见他有一样新的优点。
So every time you meet a brother or sister, and always find some strength from him.
当然有一些是显而易见的，有些弟兄姐妹是有一些缺点的。
So some brother or sister, obviously, they have some just very obvious problem.
你不太容易看他有一些优点。
And maybe it's hard for you to find his
但是
strength.
我鼓励你用信心去想象和展望他的将来，会是一个非常好的上帝的器皿。
But I encourage you, just go by faith to look at this person. One day, God will use him as his vessel.
我在以前一个教会牧会的时候呢，
So when I used to shepherd a church previously,
有一个弟兄呢，他说话也得罪人，做事也伤害人，不管怎么样，他总是做一些不太合乎大家喜欢的事情。
and there's a brother, he always does these things and just people just not happy about him.
他也的确不太容易让别人在他身上找到一些好像强好的地方。
And it's also very difficult for people, to brother sister, to find his strength.
有一次我们开教会的同工会，同工就提出来说：“哎呀，这个弟兄怎么糟糕了，不像话，牧师你是不是考虑就把他赶出教会算了？”
So one time when we had a co-workers meeting, and the co-worker just asked pastor, said, "So pastor, you look at this brother the way he is. Should we just expel him?"
我笑了一笑，我没吭声。
And I smiled. I didn't say a word.
这个几个同工对我蛮有意见，说我没原则，
And then the co-workers, they're just not happy about the way I handle.
我还是没吭声。
And I still keep silent.
后来有一次，他们几个同工很严肃认真跑来找我谈话了。
And one time, the co-workers came to me and talked to me.
牧师是不是因为他也是你们河北老乡，
And so pastor, is it because he's from the same hometown as you
所以
did?
你就偏心，一直不去把他赶出教会？我们教会不喜欢这样。
And therefore you have a bias and you do not do what we said.
我就对那几个弟兄讲，
So I told those brothers,
我弟兄你知道吗？
and I said, brother, do you know?
我说因为你们没有看见这个弟兄的强处。
And I said, because you do not see his strength.
他怎么会有强处呢？
So they said, how would he have any strength?
我说看见他的强处是上帝的吩咐啊。
So I told the co-workers, I said, to see our brother's strength, that's God's command.
哪有这样的圣经指出来给我看？
And then the co-workers said, so just show us in the Bible.
我就把腓立比书2章3节秀给他看。我说个人看别人比自己强，你看到他比你强的地方吗？
So I shared with the co-workers, I said, look at the Bible in Philippians, value others above yourselves.
那几个弟兄不服气啊，
But they do not agree.
他真的是不行啊，很多问题啊，举了一大堆问题出来给我听。
So the co-workers said, look at him, he really has said so many problems.
我说但是圣经还是这么吩咐的。
And I said, well, that's God's command.
他说这样子吧，
And they said, how about
不
this?
是你指出他有什么强的地方，
They said, Pastor, can you just point out, so what's his strength?
你能指得出来吗？
Can you just point any out?
我说我也指不出来。
And I said, I can't.
所以嘛，你都指不出来，还要求我们看，不对。
And they said, see, that's why. So why do you require us?
我说，但是我在信心当中，我看见他比我强的地方。
So, but I told the co-workers, I said, I just go by faith. I see that.
有一个弟兄从凳子上嘣掉到地上去，还有这样的事情。
And then one just brother just dropped from the chair, and they said, how could that be?
我说是的，弟兄。
And I said, yes,
我说
brother.
今天神让我们看他的时候，貌似无优点，无强项。
So I told this the co-workers, I said, well, today God just let us see nothing. It sounds like additional strength from this brother.
但是你有没有想过神的心意呢？
And I said, have you ever thought about God's heart?
神是要让我们在信心当中看见他放在我们身边的这个弟兄有一个将来的强项，你看到吗？
God wants us to just go by faith and to see that one day He has a strength.
弟兄姐妹，这个功课不容易学的。
Brothers and sisters, this is not an easy lesson.
当你看不见一个弟兄有优点、有强项的时候，
When you do not see a brother who has any strength,
请你用信心接受上帝的话是真的。
please accept God's words as true.
他一定是有一样你今天看不见，但未来一定会看得见的强项和优点。
So on this person, for sure, in the future, he will have one strength.
这个属灵的奥秘表现在我们生命每一个角落。
So actually, this spiritual secret revealed in every corner of our life.
夫妻关系，
Just like a husband and wife,
父母跟儿女的关系，
parents and the children,
兄弟姐妹关系，
or between brothers and sisters,
都是如此。
it's all the same.
我记得我刚刚服侍主的时候，
I remember I started to serve God.
我总是嫌师母动作慢，
I always think my wife, she's always slow in motion.
出个门也慢，
And even when we go out, she's slow.
读个经也慢，
To read the Bible, she's slow.
唱个诗也慢。
To sing the gospel
我
song,
的心里
slow.
急呀，急得不得了。
So I just have just quick temper.
我跟我一个很好的弟兄去埋怨师母，我说这么慢。
So I just complained that with a brother about my wife.
那个弟兄给我一句话，我到今天我还记得。
Then the brother just gave me this, and I still remember it.
他说：“弟兄，你放心。
And he said, just have the peace in your mind.
有一天师母她成长到某一个地步的时候，会吓一跳。
One day she just grew to the point, and you will be
我
surprised.
什么时候我才能看到这一天呢？
And I said, so when can I see that?
我说你看吧。
And he said, just wait and see.
我说真有这么回事吗？
And I said, is that true?
他说你要看见你妻子未来强过你的地方。
And he said, you will just go by faith. One day you will see your wife has a strength above you.
我还是不服气。
I still do not
我
agree.
觉得他怎么可能比我强？
And I said, how could that be?
我在方方面面都比他强。
In every corner, and I'm just
我拍个胸
stronger than her.
举个手臂，我比他强得多。
And no matter what, I'm stronger than her.
我左看右看，他就是什么都不如我。
I just could not find any point that she's better than me.
够拽了吧？
So am I just proud?
在99年，我们去澳门圣经学校去做宣教士之前训练的时候，
So 1999, when we went to the Bible school in Macau, and we did the
我
investigation
们
to
每个
see
人
our
要做
gift.
一个就是心理学的一个报告，大概这么厚的这么一个 report， 每个人做大概1天2天的时间，好长时间。
So each one of us, we have to just do like this kind of survey and take 1 to 2 days to finish it.
他告诉我一个心理学上的一个指标，吓我一跳。
And there's a psychological index, and really surprised me.
我的 leadership 的领袖指数是59%，
So my index in the leadership is like 59%,
而师母是79%。
and my wife is 79%.
我老大的不服气啊！
And I just do not quite agree.
我说师母怎么可能比我多20呢？
And I said, how could that be? She's 20% more than me.
后来这个心理学家就跟我解释，
And then the psychologist explained.
没错，你是一个行动型的领袖，
And the psychologist told me, he said, it's right. And you're the person, you're just the one with the action.
但是师母是一个祷告型的领袖。
But your wife, and she's the person, she's the one who prays.
你在任何时候都看不到师母那个情绪反常的激动，对不对？
So at any moment, you just do not see she has this kind of emotional reaction.
我当时心里头还有点不服气。
So during that time, I still not quite agree.
你不就是不说话吗？什么了不起？
And she's just quiet and just nothing just to be proud of.
我还觉得我样样都比你强。
And I still think I'm stronger than her.
好，到2个孩子高中毕业去读大学。
So then after our kids graduated from the high school and went to college,
女儿一般不说话，
usually my daughter, she's quiet,
儿子话。
and my son talks more.
到儿子高中毕业之后，我们开一个家庭会议，
So when my sons graduated and from high school, we have a family meeting.
就谈一谈儿女成长的时候，父母啊儿女互相互动的关系。
And we just share about our interrelationship in the family.
都谈谈，哎，我心里面有个期望，是不是爸爸在你成长当中给你很了不起的作用啊、鼓励啊？我希望听到这样的话。
And I just have the expectation to hear they share about my influence about them.
我也希望听到儿子说，哎呀，爸爸你真了不起，又教我哲学，又教我这个逻辑，又教我历史，又教我神学。你看看我有个爸爸多好。
And I also hope my son will share that Dad, you just taught me so many things.
儿子一句话都没有讲。
And my son didn't say a word.
但他说了什么？
And what he said
他说，
was,
在我成长的过程当中，
and my son said during my growing process,
他说妈妈给我的鼓励是最伟大的。
and he said encouragement from mom is the greatest.
我心里面还是不服气。
And I still don't quite
我
agree.
在听到底妈妈有什么了不起啊？
And I was trying to hear, and what's great about
他
her?
就缓缓的道来告诉我。
And he told me this.
他说他那天晚上是不是也应该记得这句话？
So maybe you still remember this.
他说妈妈性格的沉稳，
And my son said, and my mom, she's so stable.
她永不发脾气，
And she never get angry.
她从来没有跟我们有任何上情绪上的波动，
And she never have some like an emotional
使
thing.
得我在生活、考试、生命当中遇到任何压力，我都有一个底气，我知道我可以平静安稳的度过。
And so that when I have the pressure and with mom, I'm able to just go through it.
我忽然间明白，1999年那个心理医生给我们两个人做领袖指数测试的时候，为什么他是79，我只有59？
So all of a sudden I realized how come the result from the 1999 and my wife is 20% more than
是
me.
此处无声胜有声啊！
So at this point, I just had a speechless.
我们以为有一个很强有力的表达，发现殊不知那安静的祷告呢带来的能力更加强。
And I just didn't realize actually just a silent prayer has such a great power.
这些年来，我多而又多的印证师母生命当中这些比我强的地方。
So for the past years, I just proved about my wife's her ability in this.
我也越来越印证说，原来上帝讲的话都是真的。
And then I also proved that God's words are so true.
虽然我老大的不同意，
Even though I don't quite agree.
原来上帝真是放了一个比我更有 leadership 指数的人在我的身边。
So God just put this person who has the higher index in leadership besides me.
亲爱的弟兄姐妹，
Dear brothers and
如
sisters,
何看人不容易，
it's not easy to look at
如何
others.
看自己更不容易啊！
And to look at ourselves is even harder.
要看自己的话呢，和看人是紧紧相连的。
So look at ourselves and look at others actually is closely related.
通常人都容易看着自己，哇，我有什么样的恩典，我有什么样的恩赐，我有什么了不起，很容易看自己。
So oftentimes we just look at ourselves, we have so many strengths.
保罗说：“你不要看自己过于高傲，
And just Paul said, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought.
不要看自己所过于所当看的，
And just do not just look at yourself as more than that you should be.
要照着神所分给个人信心的大小，合乎中道。”
In accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you.
什么叫合乎中道呢？
So what does that mean? Just in accordance to the faith that God has distributed to
通
each
常
of you.
中国人解这句经文的时候，都会容易和中庸之道结合起来。
So when Chinese we explain this, we just combine with the
中庸之道，the balance 就好。
the balance.
孔夫子怎么教导这个中庸之道呢？
So how did Confucius to teach us
他
about
用
this?
一个器皿往里面倒水，
So he used a vessel to fill with water.
当这个水注入里面注入到某一个地步的时候呢，
So when he just filled the water to a certain point,
这个水突然间倒过来，就全部倒空了。
and then all of a sudden this water just kind of just come out and
这
it's
个
empty.
中庸之道就是快倒出去，没有倒还平衡在那个位置，叫中庸。
So the truth about the balance, that is that before the water just overflow and then it just stay there, just balance.
呀，1到10哪里是这个中庸之道呢？
So scale from 1 to 10, what is the balancing point?
大家在文化大革命时记得中国有个数学家叫华罗庚，专门跟大家讲了优选法，里面讲了一个如何得到中间最好的那个位置。
So during the Cultural Revolution, and just talk about this person's name,
华罗庚，数学家，
and he's the person is
大概是6.18这个位置上。
So just talking about the balancing point, about
但是如果用
6.1.
这个来解释合乎中道呢，那就不对了。
But if you use that to explain about this, the balancing, then that's not right.
中文翻译圣经的时候，往往要用中文文化的观念去解释这个圣经，这不准确。
The Chinese Bible, when they translate, and they just use this the culture, the Chinese way to translate, but in here
这
that's
里
not
所
quite
说的
proper.
合乎中道就是合适。
So here that means proper.
呀，什么合适呢？
So what does that mean?
保罗说这个标准是上帝给每个人的信心大小，这个标准。
So the standard in the Bible is in accordance with the faith that God has
你有多大的
distributed.
信心就做多大的事儿。
So it depends on how big your faith is.
你没有那么大的信心，就不要去做那么大的事情。
If you don't have such a big faith, and then just don't do such that the big thing.
就是按照上帝给你有多大的信心，你就做多大的事情。
So you just do in accordance with the faith God has distributed to you.
你明明没有这个信心，为什么勉强你自己呢？
If you do not have this kind of faith, and why you want to force yourself?
没有人让你要跟戴德生去相比吧？
No one asks you to compare with the missionary 戴德生.
也没有人让你去跟那个格贝里去相比。
And also, no one wants you to compare with Billy Graham.
你既没有必要做大卫，也没有必要做摩西啊。
And no one had asked you to be the King David or Moses.
你就做回你自己就好了。
Just be yourself.
上帝给你多少，你就做多少。
And just do whatever God distributed to you.
不要去拿别人的成就来论断自己在神面前的这个位分。
Do not use other people's achievement to judge your status.
你如何能够心平气和的活你每天的分分秒秒，合乎中道？
So just kind of stable. Just live your everyday.
好，3言就讲到这里。
So that's the 3 sentences.
2语呢？
What about the 2
是
words?
基督徒行事为人的2个标准。
And that's the 2 standards and that we need to follow.
对内呢，
So for the inside.
保罗说凡事都可行，不都有益处。
And Paul said, I have the right to do anything, but not everything is beneficial.
你说你每天吃2大块那么大的大肥肉，好不好吃呢？
So is it good? We just have those big fat meat every day. Is it good?
花肉香啊，
And it is so good, so
梅
tasty.
菜扣肉好味道啊。
And those kind of the roasted
但是你
the meat is
这
good.
么多的油在你的身体，对你有什么益处呢？
But with so much the animal fat, is that good to your body?
既然没有益处，你为什么要去做呢？
Since it's not beneficial to you, and why you want to do it?
其实基督徒很多的自由啊。
Actually, as a Christian, we have a lot
上
of
帝只
freedom.
是让你不要去做那些对你没有益处的事情嘛。
God just asks you not to do the things that's not beneficial to you.
哪怕做运动也不要过度啊。
So even you do the exercise and just don't overdo it.
你凡事都可行，不要做对自己没益的事情。
And you have the right to do anything, but just don't do anything that's destructive.
但是你也不能单单只考虑你自己啊，
But you cannot only think about yourself.
你要考虑别人。
You need to think for
你
others.
说的这句话你很痛快，
And when you say this, you feel good.
但是这句话并不造就你身边的这个人啊。
But if you say this, cannot construct others.
这件事也不可行。
And this, you shouldn't do it.
上帝从来不说这件事不行，那件事不行，得看你这件事是不是对自己有益处，对别人有造就。
So it's God. The Bible never said, "Don't do this, don't do that." Bible just said, "Whether you do this and it's beneficial to others, or do not do anything that's not constructive."
人在谈恋爱的时候呢，比较爱说造就人的话。
So when the couple is dating, they like to say the words that's very constructive.
一旦进入老夫老妻的位置上时候，通常不太容易说出一些造就的话。
Once they become the husband and wife, and this is very seldom they can say the constructive words.
都不容易说得出对人有鼓励的话。
And also the encouraging words.
老夫老妻了嘛，
since they're already an old couple,
反正都娶回家了嘛，
since I already married her,
反正我都嫁到他家里面去了嘛，
since I already married him,
那讲究那么多干啥呢？
and why we need to say all those
这个
words?
造就的话就会越来越少。
Then the constructive words, it's fewer and fewer.
那父母对儿女也容易这样子，
It's the same for parents to the
你要好
children.
好读书啦。
You need to study hard.
你看你读书趴在那里读书那个姿势不行哎。
Look at your gesture, the way you study.
哎呀，你看你这个晚上搞得晚不对呀。
So look at you, you stay up so late.
你每天就这么个躺着姿势看书不合理呀。
And you always just lie down to read the books. That's not good.
没有人怀疑父母的动机都是一番好意的。
So no one have the doubt about the attitude or motivation for the parents.
这能不能反过来讲呢？讲的造就一点行不行啊？
But can we change the way to talk as more constructive?
来，我来帮你把这个椅子扶高一点。
Let me help you, just to help you just lean your chair more upper.
呀，可能孩子一个恶习，每天洗完头、洗完澡，满地都是水。
Maybe your children, after they take a shower, and they always have the hair all on the floor.
该不该说啊？
Should you say that?
该不该说啊？
Should you say about your
该
children?
也不该。
Yes and no.
什么时候说？
When to say this?
我给你们大家讲过人生五格，记得吧？
Remember, I already shared with you before about the 5 characters.
今天没时间给你详细展开了。
And today we don't have much time to share about
要
this.
人的性格、品格、人格，它是有自己成长的时间区间的。
So there's a time and for the person to grow in his own character.
要这是人这一生往往是这几格成长都不平衡的。
So every person actually in our life, and it's not easy to grow in proper the stage.
如果你有一个18岁以上的孩子回到家里，
So if you have a child and already 18 and return
那
home,
你看到还是活得跟12、13岁的孩子都不如。
if his life and his that behavior is still like age 12, 13,
我们极少有父母能够忍住嘴巴不说。
and very few of the parents, they will not say a word.
呀，我就鼓励所有做父母的这个时候换个方法去说。
So I encourage the parents, you can change the way to talk.
哎，你这个纸上水上这个地啊，
So look at that, the water on the floor.
那孩子你帮我拿布来，我来擦。
Can you just bring a cloth to me? Let me wipe it.
跟他一起擦。
And just do together with her.
或者他不想擦，你就悄悄把它擦掉就好。
Or if she doesn't want to do it, and you
有的
just
时
do
候
it by
父母
yourself.
那个身教是重于言教。
A lot of times, actually, the parents, how they behave, and it's more better than how they talk.
西恩身上也有很多的毛病。
And my son also has some issues.
在家里面也是乱七八糟。
At home, not quite organized.
我多少次我想去说，想去点一点他，我忍住不说。
Many times I want to say about him, but I just kind of just
这个
wait.
毛病怎么养成的？我是该说没说的时候是我的责任。
And that's my responsibility. At the time, I supposed to say it, but I didn't.
他其实初中以前都还不错的。
Actually, before middle school, he was pretty good.
一上高中去参加有一个debate class，
Once he went to the high school, he went to
辩论课
debating.
程，然后每天从礼拜六从早上5点钟就出门了，晚上12点1点再回来。
So on Saturday, he left home at 5 a.m.